Hey guys, Matt here. This is my review of Seventh Son. This movie is directed by Sergei Boldrov, and the movie stars Jeff Bridges, Ben Barnes, and Julianne Moore. Seventh Son is about a spook named Master Gregory, played by Jeff Bridges, who's like the town knight. Whenever something magical, unexplainable happens, he goes there to solve the problem. Ben Barnes plays Tom Ward, who's the seventh son of the seventh son, who Gregory takes under his wing as his apprentice. And Julianne Moore plays Mother Malkin, a witch who Gregory imprisoned many years before, who has escaped. And so now Gregory must train Thomas and also stop Mother Malkin. If that description sounds a little vague to you, well, this movie really is. I mean, it could be a simple, easy-to-follow story, but it piles so many more things into the storyline, and the direction is just bad. That this movie tries to be a lot more than it actually is. It tries to focus on so many other things instead of a simple story. For instance, they have so many reveals and secrets and hidden abilities in this movie, and so many characters they'll follow. They try to throw in all of these things to make the story more interesting, but overall, the story just gets lost in its own mess. I never saw 47 Ronin, despite everything I heard about it and what that looks like. I thought Seventh Son would be like 47 Ronin. So here are two movies that I can compare it to. It's like Season of the Witch meets R.I.P.D. Now, on to the acting. Jeff Bridges is a good actor, so is Julianne Moore, but why they took upon doing this type of movie, I have no idea. Jeff Bridges is like in this slump in his career where he likes to play these characters that are older and grumpy and just lazy. People that are badasses, or could be, or used to be, but now just decide to be this grumpy instructor to kind of train or guide a young character towards a certain direction in life. And it's bad. I mean, Jeff Bridges brings nothing special to this character whatsoever. Julianne Moore seems like she just wanted to read off these lines and be an evil character, just like Michelle Pfeiffer was in Stardust, or Charlize Theron in Snow White and the Huntsman. I guess she just wanted to play this type of role, because again, she brings nothing to this role as well. Ben Barnes, he was good in Chronicles of Narnia as Prince Caspian, but he's bland in this movie. He was just as interesting as Justin Chatwin was in Dragon Ball Evolution. Oh yeah, that's another movie I can compare this to. It's Dragon Ball Evolution. Best character in this movie, his name is Mr. Bradley. He's at the beginning of the movie, but unfortunately it's only for a short time. This movie had so many laughably bad parts. For instance, oh my gosh, Jeff Bridges calls Thomas Ward. He goes, "You're the seventh son of the seventh son." That's like the tagline. That's the selling point of the movie, right? But they really don't go into any detail of why that's important or who he's destined to become. And then there's a love story between him and a young witch that you really just don't care about. There's no drama in this movie. There's this scene where Julianne Moore is like, okay, now that I'm free, I'm going to amass this army of my lieutenants and my assassins. Yet, that all gets jumbled up and nothing really happens. Her goal is never really explained. Her backstory is never really explained. There's just a whole lot in this movie, like I said, that just gets jumbled up in this mess, and you're like, but wait, if that person's like that, then why didn't this happen? It's just really bad. And so, because this movie tried to be something really good, but just wasn't, I'm going to give Seventh Son a D. This movie is just bad. Till next time, guys. See ya. Here's a scene where Thomas and Gregory go into this building, and they see this guy that can turn into a giant bear. And Gregory says, "That's so-and-so. He's the most deadly of all her lieutenants combined." And he says, "He killed the most of my knights." That guy killed mostly everybody else, and they beat him. And they beat him in a dumb way, too. Also, I love how Gregory only had a week to train Thomas Ward, and the only thing he really trained him in was throwing a knife. That's it. And then at the end of this movie, they pull a Book of Eli, where you have this character that you're like, there's no way in hell that character's going to be a hero. And then sure enough, at the end of the movie, they pull a Book of Eli, Men in Black, where Jeff Bridges is like, okay, you've done everything I've trained you to do, so now I'm going to leave. Great. Now the world's in even worse danger because Thomas Ward is saving it.